Hello everybody, I'm Daniel Maddox and I'm just saying. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon, and today I'd like to talk about paying your taxes, or the lack of paying your taxes actually. So much is going on right now, and the government is using so much money to obstruct so many freedoms that we give them. We give them all of our money in forms of taxes, and we give them all our power in terms of just giving up our rights to attack, to defend ourselves from terrorism. You know how many police officers, how many military officers, how many different military groups were at the Boston Marathon bombing? There were hundreds, if not thousands, of military personnel before the bombing even took place, and they couldn't stop 2 college kids, even though they were standing not even 10 feet away from them when it happened, even though they weren't even actually at the bomb site. That's another thing altogether, but we'll skip that for now. The point is that this massive police state does not prevent terrorism, it only ensures terrorism. In addition to that, we pay these taxes, and the income tax is 100% illegal. It has no legal bearing. And you talk to IRS agents and you ask them, find me the law that says I have to pay taxes. Find me the law that says somewhere, somehow, that I am required by law to pay you this money. They won't be able to do it because it doesn't exist, because it's not real, because taxes are a fraud. It has been since 1913, since they instituted it back then. There's plenty of documentaries that talk about this. There's plenty of proof. You can look it up yourself. It's a farce. And they're just reaping untold wealth from people. And you know what will happen when we stop paying taxes? Do you have any clue what will come to pass when the government stops getting its injection of heroin from the public? What usually happens to a heroin addict after they stop getting their injections? They'll break down and go nuts. They'll go into a fetal position and beg. And that's what we need the government to be doing, getting in a fetal position and begging, because the government is the people's servant. The government serves me, it serves you, it serves all of us. It's not the other way around. We don't serve it. And so that is my proposal, that everybody stops paying taxes on a mass scale. I already don't pay taxes. I never have, because I've always been against what they use the money for. And what do they use the money for? This gigantic police state, this gigantic military, this imperialistic domination of the world. People always tell me, well, what about the roads? What about the schools? How much money have you seen being allocated to schools and roads? Not much. America's falling to pieces. Bridges everywhere don't even sustain themselves anymore. They're all falling to pieces. And every time somebody says we should fix the nuclear reactors, they say, oh, they'll hold another 50 years. Even though the base structure, the underlying foundation's already cracked and leaking plutonium. Look into that. Look into the state of the affairs of our decaying, aging, and not even upkept nuclear reactors. And what is that for? What are they trying to do? Well, it's the perfect excuse, isn't it, to have a nuclear reactor blow, and we can conveniently blame it on some radical white liberal or extremist right-wing gun-owning NRA members. They'll try to do everything, man. They'll try to take all of our rights anytime they can. And if we let them, that's exactly what they'll do. You know how I know that? I've seen it. I've lived it. I've been there. I'm only 25 years old, and I've already seen a hurricane storm of crap that has gone on. You know, ever since 9/11, our lives were never the same as kids, and growing up in that atmosphere of fear, you could just see people change, and you could see the evil in people being nurtured by that fear, because the fear is what breeds the evil, and it's what allows people to do horrible things. Recording on my iPhone here, so it's it's a little bit messy. And so that's my proposal. Everybody stop paying your taxes and wake up, because without us, they're just men and women. They're just men and women anyways, but we give them so much money and so much power that they have that huge hold on us. But we'll see what happens when they stop getting their trillions of dollars in funding from us to hurt us. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make any sense to you? Does it make any sense that we should be paying these people to hurt us? Paying these people to throw us in prisons without due process? Without a court? Does that make any sense to you? Does it make any sense at all to anyone? Well, I suppose if you're somebody who's fear-bound, somebody whose consciousness is stuck at a fear level, at the base level of fear instinct, that reactionary state that you're in which fear drives your every motivation. Do you have any idea how easily manipulable people are in that fear state? It's mass Stockholm syndrome, mass hysteria, learned helplessness. Yes, officer, of course I'll get down on my knees, put my arms behind my back while you're sticking your knees straight in my spine and breaking it, even though I'm not even resisting arrest or doing anything wrong. Of course, take all my rights and take my bank accounts and, yeah, I'll be there. But anyways, I was going to go on a rant, but I've got places to be. I'm Daniel Maddox, and I'm just saying. Oh, stop paying taxes.